The following is a presentation of the United Wrestling Network.
Hello everyone, it's time for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood presented by Car Shield. I'm Jack Farmer and we have a colossal main event for you tonight as the former Heritage Champion Watts teams with NWA's Pope to take on the NWA TV Champion Zicky Dice with a mystery partner. Zicky already unpredictable, who could be his partner? We also have a featured match from Create Pro Wrestling. VSK is facing off against Patrick FITZPATRICK. But to start everything off, we're going to kick it to ringside for a gritty match as the Wolf Zaddies take on the Bodega.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Heat Mountain, at a combined weight of 515 pounds, Shane Cabrera and Bad Dude Tito, the Wolf Zaddies.
Wolf Zaddies want to be on the top of the tag team food chain in the United Wrestling Network. We saw them a few weeks back on the debut of Primetime Live. Went to a war with the Tribe. Time limit ran out. So they remain undefeated to the Wolf Zaddies since their return at Milestone. But that didn't sit well. They want to absolutely outright dominate and win.
It's an interesting thing to go to a time limit draw. Do you think they maybe are going to come out maybe a little bit more on fire, trying to work quicker?
Could be, but they're going to have a tough test ahead of them in the Bodega.
Are you serious, Dre?
Introducing their opponents at a combined weight of 481 pounds, the King Fat Boy, Papo Esco, and Danny Limelight, the Bodega.
What a combination the Bodega make. The way that they forged as a unit, Danny Limelight had a bit of a skid. You know, went to a time limit draw, speaking of, with Slice Boogie on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. A pair of losses to Kevin Martinson, one of which happened right here on Primetime Live in a phenomenal matchup. And then wait behind the curtain was that man, Papo Esco, to ring him back in and talk about familia.
Papo's really been the yin to Danny Limelight's yang. They've come together to make a fantastic tag team, and I'm excited to see these two teams clash.
Another busy week for Limelight Rivera. It has advanced to the finals of the Lions Break Collision Cup. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. He will face Clark Connors this Friday in the finals, so check that out. But focused right now on tag team action. Man, look at this. Big on big. Papo Esco. King Fat Boy in there with Bad Dude Tito. I mean, gosh, I know it's cliche in the world of wrestling, but I'm telling you, I hope the ring is reinforced for this one.
Absolutely, that is a lot of beef in there. And the Wolf Zaddies and the Bodega, they are a pack of wolves. They're a pack of dogs fighting over the same bone, and that's a victory on Primetime Live.
A lot of beef, very little candy in this one.
So one thing to note is that Bad Dude Tito is a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so he has legitimate submission grappling skills. Let's see if he's able to utilize them against King Fat Boy.
He might need to pull guard if he's on his back much more.
Memphis Wrestling is back! The all-new Championship Wrestling for Memphis premieres Saturday, February 27th at high noon, right here on CW30 Memphis. April 11th at Top of the Line Banquet Hall in Memphis. Who will become the first Memphis Wrestling Champion? Get your tickets at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com.
So this is exactly what I mean by the yin to Papo Esco's yang, where they're two totally different styles. This high-flying agility has totally taken Che Guevara by surprise.
Yeah, I think you're speaking the same language. It's what we were touching on too, and it's coming to fruition now in the matchup. Nice double teaming, buzzsaw kick, dropping that big cranium down on Cabrera. Look at these quick tags here, James. Boy, a lot, and since coming back and teaming with Papo Esco, that swagger has come back to Danny Limelight. Hold on, you had a bit of a skid, but now it's right back. All that orgullo, that pride.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks focused. Looks like he is just really has that drive in there with Papo. Again, these frequent tags, and now they have him isolated in their corner, and this spells trouble for Che right now.
Sure does. This is not where you want to be. They're in that corner store at the Bodega. They're in the wrong part of town, in the wrong alley. As they say, the Bodega, you can get whatever you want, including the beatdown. Upstairs goes Danny Limelight, and I mean, what happens there when you get hit from both angles?
So it's like a head-on car crash where there's significantly more damage smashing together as opposed to just from one side.
Oh! Rocketed Danny Limelight into Tito. How about that? Dividing, conquering.
A little bit of a speedball special it looked like there from Papo and Limelight. Innovative offense, and once again they've got Che isolated here, and they are dominating. And again, incredible agility with alacrity from Limelight, but
oh, there we go. Referee's back turn. There's some double teaming. Elevated into the power slam. Might get him just like that. Boy, that's a quick way to turn the tables. That one big double team move, and look who's in control, guys.
So that's the downside of being significantly lighter. Yeah, you got wheels. Yeah, you got agility. But one of these dudes gets his hands on you, and you're taking a fight.
Limelight Rivera is getting some serious frequent flyer miles in this matchup. JFK to LAX coming in for a crash landing.
Yeah. Tito's telling Papo Esco, that is not a smart thing to do. I would not want to make that big man angry.
He's already mad enough, but yeah, you were talking about earlier, Danny Limelight, I mean, God, just some elevation sensation for him. He's got to be seeing stars.
Yeah, he didn't land on his feet that time, guys. Earlier, I didn't know if it was Danny Limelight or Miles Morales. He had that incredible agility and balance, but now that this big bruising team, and they've got more, here's where the experience factor could come into play here as a tandem, Blake.
I agree 100%. The team mojo is a big thing that we always talk about, how well they work together, and the Wolf Zaddies been together for years.
Cover after that huge launching shoulder block. That was an absolute decleater if there ever was one.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Wolf Zaddies get Danny back in their corner. They've been doing a fantastic job of double teaming him in their own corner.
Do you think that the goal might be to isolate Rivera, the smaller man here, guys?
I would imagine that's the case. If I were going in there and fighting against him, that's what I would do. If you can slow him down just a little bit.
If. That's a big if. Easier said than done, as you can see right now. The elusive Danny Limelight trying to catch this guy's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, though.
You guys need to listen up.
Uh-oh, look out here. Oh, bad dude driver by Tito, and that's going to bring in Esco, who's there just in time to make the save.
Yeah, that's one thing about the Bodega. Danny Limelight, he trusts Papo to have his back. You know, they have that sort of gelling confidence in one another, that they're looking out for each other.
I think if that bad dude driver had happened a few feet further over towards the corner, I don't think Papo would have made it there in time. But this match continues, and right now it is Limelight that is paying the price. Look at this power personified. Wow.
He got some serious airtime there. He's a big boy.
You think?
I do think that, to your previous point, the strategy has to be, the harder you hit Danny Limelight, the slower he's probably going to get.
We have a saying in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and fighting. You take a black belt, you punch him in the face, it becomes a brown belt, and so forth all the way down. Same thing's applying to Danny Limelight. You hit him once, he starts slowing down. You hit him again, he slows down even more.
Yeah, they haven't been able to ground him just yet, though. Oh, look at that, though. Look at how nimble Limelight is into the clothesline, turning in mid-air to take down the big man.
Let's see if he can get over to Papo. Tito's between him and Papo, though, but he's got an ability right now to possibly get there.
Danny Limelight, again, keeping the pace quick. Beautiful head scissors takedown where he's finding it. Tag is made. Two big freshmen coming in, and this is going to be two big bulls locking horns. What a slam by Esco. What power.
Esco definitely getting the better of all of those exchanges. He's taking on the Zaddies by himself, 2-on-1. Impressive work.
Said it was starving. It's an all-you-can-eat right now with the Wolf Zaddies. Look at this double teaming. Kick into the slam, all that body weight down. I gotta guess that's gotta be around the
Smart move by Chain to
400-pound
roll
mark.
out of the ring.
That was smart. Buy him a little bit of time. Both these guys are hurt.
Never safe though, never safe, there we go. Big dive to the outside, big high jump.
This time the elevation serving to Danny Limelight's favor as opposed to him bumping all over the ring. Looks like he's got things back in control.
Well, you gotta think somewhere SoCal Distancing is watching this thing. Because I gotta believe whoever wins this thing might be near the top of the heap for the tag team titles. That remains to be seen. Just my call. But what a match it's been.
Fine tag there. What a move. Oh, Tito caught him. Impressive.
Into a huge spine buster. Almost choke slam. This is not where you want to be. Not where you want to be. There we go. Satisfaction guaranteed. Zaddies win.
Here are your winners, the Wolf Zaddies.
Beautiful double team and pin there by Latino Meat.
I mean, what a match. Hard hitting, high flying, everything you want to see in great tag team action. There you see it. Big power on display. Rolls them up. Thank you very much. Into the satisfaction.
Yeah, satisfaction guaranteed, like you said. So long goodbye to Danny Limelight and the Bodega. But that was just incredible tag team competition on display from both teams.
Main event still to come. Speaking of tag team action, it'll be the Pope teaming up with Watts, taking on NWA television champion Zicky Dice, mystery partner. We're going to take a little break, catch our breath. We'll be back right after this.
Memphis Wrestling is back and in a major way. Stay up to date and informed on all the latest Memphis Wrestling news, roster updates, tickets, and even our brand new Memphis Wrestling podcast, Rolling into Mempho. Find it all at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
For some reason, I always gravitated towards the bad guys as a kid. I don't know. I just liked the heels. I thought they were just fun. They were more fun and they were cooler to me. My mom actually brought me into wrestling. We used to always rent wrestling tapes, and one specific memory I have of watching wrestling with my mom is when Demolition dropped the tag titles to the Hart Foundation. I cried. I was like, why am I crying? And, I was a kid, but I was like, I didn't understand why I was sad, and then that's when I realized, like, wow, I have an emotional, my mom really knew, like, oh, my son has an emotional attachment to this, So I think that moment is when she knew how deep it went for me. I happened to hit a growth spurt in high school, and I happened to be a decent athlete and had some strength to me and some speed, so I decided to try football. But I knew that football wasn't my love. I knew that I wasn't an NFL guy by any stretch of the imagination. So in my school, my school was in the hood, and we didn't have a wrestling team, so football was the closest thing to it. So I became a football player and got to get some of that aggression out, just growing up in the hood and all that stuff. That's super important to have an outlet. I didn't love it enough, so I gave it up, went to my true love, which is pro wrestling. And when I first broke in, I feel like I've gotten it mentally always, but my physical didn't always match with my brain. If we can shoot for a second here, if you take like the first 8 or 9 years of my wrestling run, lost a lot of support from both family and friends. It's real tough as a black kid from the hood to be accepted in wrestling. You have virtually no support. But if I had to say one main mentor in this business, I would say that would be Tashad Gaspard, who I met at a Hollywood taping maybe 8 years ago or so. He was coming off of a WWE run and he had no idea who I was and didn't owe me anything, but he took the time to pull me aside and enter himself into my life and be kind of a big brother that I never had. And for me, that was huge because he was someone that I kind of came up watching, and he was someone who was just like me, big black guy, and he had the life I want. And he was like, if I could have anybody mentor me, let it be him, because he is exactly who I want to be. And I got to have it, so I'm very thankful that he got to touch my life, and I got to be a little bit part of his. It is important for those with influence to use that influence to inspire others, because they, at one point in their lives, were also inspired. And who knows, you take Obama, you take The Rock, you take other, affluent celebrities, and they all had inspiration, and without that inspiration, they wouldn't have been put in position to give back to the world in the way that they have been. The highest moment in my career is when I go to the store or I go to the mall and I'm recognized as the Hollywood Heritage Champion. To me, nothing's cooler than that. Getting messages from families, from fathers, from mothers telling me that their young kid looks up to me because I'm the Hollywood Heritage Champion. And to me, there's no higher calling than inspiring others. To me, inspiration is everything.
The following contest is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from New York City, weighing in at 210 pounds, Patrick FITZPATRICK.
Set for exclusive action here from Thunder Studios as part of Primetime Live. Todd Kennelly and James Kincaid here with the call of the action. James, here we see Patrick FITZPATRICK. You see that 490 on the back of his gear? There's a good reason for it.
Yeah, Patrick FITZPATRICK used to weigh 490 pounds, got that down to about 205. I mean, that is some discipline. They should call him the Transformer.
And introducing his opponent, from Long Island, New York, weighing in at 190 pounds, VSK.
VSK also out of Create Pro out in New York. Both of these gentlemen from the same school, same gym, so mutual respect. But VSK is the reigning cap heavyweight champion. And so opportunity here, you gotta believe, out here on the West Coast for FITZPATRICK to turn some heads back east if he can take down the champ.
Yeah, no doubt about it, TK. And talking about similar backgrounds, could be a little bit of maybe a mirror match situation. Maybe they know each other a little well, given that.
Well, they've been training together. Of course, they're going to know each other quite well. Fundamental, and you got to think they're going to respect each other here out of the same gym. I would expect this to be a good athletic contest. Not much in the way of shortcuts or cheap shots. Side headlock there by FITZPATRICK, and there's that power. He used to weigh 490, but he lost a lot of weight, but he didn't lose the power, James.
Yeah, still knows how to throw what weight he has around and assert himself in there.
FITZPATRICK at one time was a producer out here on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Then kind of affectionately known when he was every bit of that 490, known as Fat Pat. Not the case any longer.
Do a pair of twins. One was Fat Pat, one was Slim Tim. Wow, what a flapjack.
There you see that power on display. It has been all FITZPATRICK, and in the early going runs him over again with the shoulder tackle, only a count of one. I think frustration's got to be setting in now on VSK. Notoriously a fast starter. This is not the way he wanted to kick off this matchup.
Yeah, FITZPATRICK turning it around on him a little bit. He's got off to the quick start. Trying to hang on now, maybe set himself, get his bearings back.
Oh, there you see it. Nice leverage move, veteran move there by the champion. This is a non-title matchup. What a shot right up the middle, throwing the high heat. Into the cover goes VSK. Close call the other way, and now look, oh, well, it maybe is gonna get a little personal and physical here, guys. And now joined by Blake Bulletproof Troop. Troop, in your time in the fight game MMA world, these guys are two gym mates. They come out of the same school, the same training. Did you ever have to mix it up in actual competition from somebody?
I have. I've actually fought one of my close friends before. And so going into the fight, one thing about fighting one of your teammates is you both know exactly what you bring to the table.
Cover.
So you're able to strategize a little bit better because you know what the guy's going to bring. What I'm curious about is either guy switches it up here tonight.
Yeah, that might be the difference maker. Somebody that's going to go out of their comfort zone. They both know kind of what to expect from the other from the training. So somebody that can call the audible, come up with something that the opponent is not going to expect. Muay Thai clinch by VSK and uses it with a big, talk about power there, James.
Stagger
big European uppercut.
Stagger him. You talk about being able to sort of adjust and maybe call an audible. FITZPATRICK already shown that ability to do that in his life, so maybe that gives him a lot in this match.
Stunner by FITZPATRICK. Again, when it comes to high impact, it's really been all Pat, the former offensive lineman, is trying to drive down the field, looking for the TD. Look at this, sends him in, and big power slam. Big power on display, looking good, Blake.
You're seeing both guys have slightly different styles. VSK's landing some fantastic striking attacks, and Patrick Fitzpatrick's been landing some really big slams. Both guys are damaging their opponents in their own ways.
He emptied the quiver there, James. Now he's got him up. Look at this, fireman's carry, drops him down into a cutter. Can he put him away?
Could be a TKO. 1, 2. Oh, almost had him though.
And again, guys, what a huge feather in the cap it would be for Fitzpatrick if he can put away the reigning CAP, Create a Pro Heavyweight Champion. I mean, look at this. VSK doesn't know where he is at this point, reaching for the ropes, reaching for some help. He won't find it. Fitzpatrick, full court. Oh, come on.
VSK buys himself a little bit of time there with that eye poke.
Well, it's going to get a little awkward in the next training session, I would think, James.
Yeah, you're talking
after
about
that.
covered. 1, 2, and Fitzpatrick, he put him away. VSK prevails.
Here is your winner, VSK.
Unbelievable victory, but the way he went about it, guys, it was really all Fitzpatrick until that poke to the eye. The oldest trick in the book, open the door.
You know, it's not the hits, the strikes that you see coming that are going to do the most damage. He did not see that coming because of the eye poke, and down he went after it landed.
All right, your thoughts on those tactics, James?
Well, you know, you talked about coming to this matchup that there, wouldn't be any animosity. They trained together, and now I think moving out of this, there's going to be a little bit of a love loss between the two, no doubt.
Get ready, wrestling fans, as EPW Wrestling presents Crossroads Clash, featuring ECW original Rhino, WWE stars Gilbert, James Ellsworth, plus all your favorite EPW wrestling stars. Saturday, March 13th at Crossroads Arena in Corinth, Mississippi. The exciting action starts at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets now at EPWWrestlingMS.com. Presented in part by E&B Distribution.
By the National Wrestling Alliance and is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the team of Watts and the Pope, Elijah Burke.
Going to be our first time seeing Elijah Burke in ring action in the NWA in quite some time. Of course, he was on Power looking for his horsemen, had issues with Eddie Kingston, and now he said he's going to hitch up the wagon here with Watts and take him to the promised land. You know, the Pope has got a great eye for talent, Blake, and he certainly sees something in the big man.
I'm not surprised. I've been watching Eric Watts wrestle for a long time on the United Wrestling Network, and that guy is a killer. We recently saw him debut on AEW Dark as well.
And I think Pope, too, feels that maybe Zicky Dice feels a little slighted that he didn't look now at the current television champion, maybe as part of that talent acquisition at the time.
I think Zicky will take any opportunity to feel slighted that he can get.
It is time to get outlandish, guys. Who's it going to be?
And introducing their opponents. First, from Cocoa Beach, Florida, weighing at 223 pounds, is the NWA Television Champion, Outlandish Zicky Dice.
Cut the music! Cut the music! Primetime Live just got outlandish! But you know what today is? Today is 217 days as your NWA World Must-See Television Champion, whether you like it or not. But that's not what's on my mind right now. What's on my mind is it's the year 2020, and Pope, how in the blue hell do you make money in 2020?
Wow.
I'm serious. I'm serious. How does Pope make money in 2020? Huh? Don't worry, Pope. I'll take care of you with a little extra money out of my fanny pack, baby. And what? We're no stranger. But isn't there somewhere else that you're supposed to be tonight? Isn't there somewhere? I don't know. I guess wrong place, wrong time. But, ladies and gentlemen watching at home, without any further ado, I introduce to you my mystery partner, a weapon of sass destruction. You may know him as Daddy. I know him as, well, Daddy. Ladies and gentlemen, Effie!
that then they can expand into the realm of Twitch and the internet. It's validation having that television title. And on the flip side, you got Pope, you've got Watts. So what does the uncertainty do here? Obviously, Pope came right out. He said, I'm hitching my wagon to this big man, Watts. Watts and Pope didn't know that Effie was the partner until just now. Does that put them at a disadvantage?
Yes and no. Because Effie and Zicky are so similar, I think that takes a little bit of that surprise advantage away. But yeah, you're not prepared you don't know what to prepare for.
Watts, we saw a couple weeks ago, James, speaking of the NWA, in an NWA sanctioned matchup, took Eli Drake to the limit. And, just got a little overconfident. And maybe that's where Pope comes in. Kind of just zero him back in, make him focus. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. Got a little overconfident, cost him. Zicky Dice known for magic tricks, but with Pope backing Watts, for him, it's going to be no hocus pocus, just focus. And I think you're going to see some great results.
I mentioned earlier that talent can take you so far, but having leadership and guidance can take you to that next level. And maybe we're going to see that right now with Watts in his career, now that he's with Pope.
Who's it going to be first? Zicky Dice calling Pope Keen Corny. Tag made, and now Elijah Burke. We want to talk about don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, Elijah Burke is known for his verbal antics. He took a lot, speaking of the NWA, from the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, in terms of the way he speaks. But this guy, here's the mind games, guys.
Bigger than this. Woo! Why don't you take that ass over there and give me big boy?
Oh, now you got Effie saying, I'm sizing up. He's like, I want the big boy. Boy, again, the mind games here. I was going to say Pope, an incredible, prolific boxer with a 102-1 record, Blake, and that one loss.
I heard that one loss was because he knocked the guy out and stayed on top of him. I'm not sure if I could count that as a loss.
That was a DQ. So now we're going to get, looking for the twister.
When you're facing somebody like Effie, I think stuff like this is to take you off your route. It's to take you out of your own game plan, and then you're going to make a mistake. I think that's the hope.
It's very smart to try and pull guys out. It gets them emotional when you're in the ring with them. And they do stupid things. And I agree with you 100% that's what these tactics are being used for.
Yeah, but it didn't work at all. Did you see that? Watts just ice water through the veins, just sat there, put up with it, shrugged off.
Well, wars are neither won or lost in the first encounter, by and large.
We'll see the vertical leap here of Effie.
Leaving something to be desired.
We talked about magic tricks with Zicky Dice earlier. His ultimate trick was making the television title disappear off the waist of Ricky Starks, and he's been the champion ever since. This marks day 217. I don't think too many title defenses.
Smart tag team work here. Neither of these guys were able to get the best upper hand on Watts, so they double teamed him.
Oh, well, how did that work out?
Well, apparently not very well.
Breaking right through the double clothesline. Watts is an absolute monster, so I think Pope hitching himself to one hell of a wagon here, James.
Yeah, I think he picked the right start, and again, you see that focus still from Watts. Zicky Dice going to the throat, though. That'll be an equalizer, big time.
When you got a guy that big, though, you got to look for his weaknesses,
Definitely have to find those holes in the armor where you can.
Watts in trouble right now. He's got to fight himself out of this corner.
Let's take a quick look at what's coming up for Memphis Wrestling. Join us tonight at the Hilton in Memphis as we remember the black legends of Memphis Wrestling. Bell time is 7:30 and tickets are still available. Then, March the 7th is our next live TV taping at Top of the Line Banquet Hall in Memphis. March 13th, don't miss Crossroads Clash at Crossroads Arena in Corinth, Mississippi, featuring former WWE stars Rhino, Gilbert, and James Ellsworth. Get your tickets now at EPWWrestlingMS.com. And finally, on April 11th, at our live Memphis Wrestling TV tapings, we will crown our first ever Memphis Wrestling champion. History will be made, and you better not miss it. Get your tickets now at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
Well, it's not going to twitch, but now you got strength in numbers. They're making frequent tags. They're wearing down the big man, and there's a big shot by Zicky Dice. Oh, don't tell me. Does he have the power? Not quite. Might might need that fanny pack for a little lumbar support. You're going to try this. Uh-oh, scoop and a slam the other way.
Well, Zicky Dice, he went looking for trouble, and trouble was waiting in the form of a big-time Watts slam. He's going to rue the day, maybe, that he did that.
Happy to see that the knee's looking pretty good on Watts. Had a vicious attack to the knee recently on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood by his supposed childhood friend Miguel, but now the Pope checks in, and we see some of that striking. He was an OVW heavyweight champion, won a lot of titles. He's been just about everywhere and done everything. A real renaissance man, commentator, manager, wrestler. Look at him go here, guys. Looks great. Hasn't missed a step.
You could see the tactics there in those first three moves. He stayed attached to Effie, and as a result, Effie couldn't get away, and he continued to chain of different slams together.
Well, you got to stay ready, and that's what Pope has done here. Looks to be in phenomenal shape.
I can't get over that set. 102-1 in his amateur boxing career. Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. Put into the Boxing Hall of Fame in 2015. Misdirection play. That'll knock you out. That'll be a knockout the other way there. Zicky with a big clothesline. And Zicky, as you know, we saw when he dismantled Gentleman Jervis on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. This guy's got a nasty streak as well.
He does. I was there for that, and that was brutal what he did afterwards. And he tried to rip Jervis's mask off. It was incredible the amount of damage he did to Jervis.
Look what he's doing here. Fish hook in the face there of Elijah Burke, which is illegal just about everywhere, but this team will do whatever it takes to get the advantage. Now, all the leverage, choking out. We talked about Watts gasping for air, same for Pope now.
Yeah, same for Pope. When you talk about the unorthodox style, all the antics they're doing, it almost maybe lulled them into a sense of, you know, almost to sleep, and now they're getting taken advantage of because they can be really nasty in there when they want to be.
I think it'd be outlandish, you might say. And look at this, just choking out.
To wit.
Yes, choking out Pope. And Watts tried to get in there and do something about it, but to no avail. And another frequent tag here, guys. We didn't know who the partner was going to be. Neither did Pope or Watts, and it is paying off. Great teamwork here by Effie. And Zicky cover, though. Nice roll-up by Pope. Oh, he gets run over, gets absolutely trucked by the clothesline of Effie.
Pope was doing a good job of starting to make a little bit of a comeback there.
Get up, Pope.
Yeah, but as soon as Pope thought he had found an exit, slammed right in his face. He's right back where he started from in the wrong corner.
Yep, NWA television champion Zicky Dice checking back in. This is the fourth straight week that an NWA champion has been in the house. First time that the title isn't defended, however.
Pope's got to get out of the corner. He's just continuing to eat damage here. He needs to do something drastic to get out of here.
We've got to talk about the skills of Effie, too. Another guy that you can't shortchange. You know, yes, he tries to play the mental mind games. He's flashy, but he's a great submission grappler. He's got that drag queen, dragon sleeper that can put you out. He could maybe try and lock that on here. I mean, he can go. Here's a guy that tapped out. We talked about Eddie Kingston and the Pope's issues. You know, Effie's a guy that tapped out Eddie Kingston at one point. We know how tough he is.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Triple tough in Eddie Kingston, and Effie, the man who just tagged Zicky Dice, he submitted him.
Back and forth now, and I mean, it is really just turned one-sided here. They've completely cut the ring off. Like Tag Team Wrestling 101. Uh-oh, look out here. Looking for that big neck break with a snake rattle and roll. Inside cradle, beautiful counter by Pope. Only a count of two.
That was clutch from Pope, and now a tag to Watts, equally so.
Finally, the big man's in. The mood's going to change here, Blake. Look out.
Yeah, with the way Eric Watts just came in here, that's no wonder Pope sees a lot in his future.
Watts, big shot upstairs. Excuse me.
Rearrange Zicky Dice's face.
The agility in this big man, I'm impressed.
Choke slam now. Dominance by Watts. Was once known as the squash god, looking to squash the competition right now.
Look at Pope directing traffic in there.
Oh my gosh, are we gonna get a little device? Little, you know, we just lost Road Warrior Animal. Rest in peace. A little homage, little doomsday device. Oh, what a rush. Not the legal man.
Fundamental tag team mistake, though. Big time move, but now they aren't able to capitalize it. Got to go for the cover now. You still might be able to get it.
Watts, though, not
Watts taking his eye off the ball, though.
Not electing to go for the cover there. Back turned. He's taking a look at Zicky. And the clip in the knee, and that knee has been compromised, guys.
That's the same knee that we saw him get attacked by Miguel with.
Fans that may be not familiar with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, that knee took a crowbar in the parking lot by his supposed childhood friend, and Zicky Dice apparently has been watching.
Zicky Dice getting a taste of Watts' flesh on that knee. And yeah, I mean, that's you take out the leg of a big man. That is a lot that he has to carry around on one leg now, effectively.
We're all about the same size on the ground, you know? So if you can get a big guy like Watts on his back and keep him there, you can get that guy in a bad place.
If you can keep him horizontal, that's for sure. No choke force coming from here.
One thing I will say is that was fantastic officiating by the referee. I had no idea that he was not the legal man there.
Yeah, in all that skirmish, you know, we saw the doomsday device. I thought this thing was going to be over. I got caught up in it as well. Got excited. Look at this, though. Nasty shots here by Effie.
I think so far, the early returns, you got to say that Zicky Dice and Effie have been the more cohesive tag team unit.
Effie rocking the fishnets, and he's got Watts caught in a bad way here. Those ligaments have got to be screaming.
Brian Trammell, Rhino JB, rolling into Memphis. Premieres February 27th on ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com. April 11th at Top of the Line Banquet Hall in Memphis. Who will become the first Memphis Wrestling Champion? Get your tickets at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
Suplex, or a reverse neck breaker, sorry. We saw the suplex a minute ago. I'm getting caught up in the action here. Nobody does this to Watts.
Zicky not going for the cover. And it cost him.
But it was the bad knee. It was the bad leg. And what is that? Might send bolts of lightning and pain through that knee blade.
He might have to crawl his way back to Pope. He might not be able to get back up. He's in serious pain right now.
We may have seen Watts needs to get a tag either way, and this may be his final moments in this match. Hopefully the ref doesn't have to stop it. Watts got to get that tag.
With everything, he's got every ounce of effort, and Watts makes it there.
It took a lot of hard for Watts to get over. That says a lot about him. And here comes Pope swinging for the fences.
But I think right now, guys, it's pretty much a 2-on-1. Pope has got to try and conquer. Beautiful flying forearm there by Elijah Burke.
I got you now, Zick!
Well, we talked about how he was influenced by the American Dream. We're seeing some big-time bionic elbows in the public, if you will.
Pope firing up on both Effie and Zicky Dice. He is taking complete control of this match.
Uh-oh.
Those are 12 to 6 elbows to the point of the head, man.
I love it. Serving up all-you-can-eat elbows. You talk about hand grenades and elbows all the time.
That was pretty close to a elbow. If he had thrown a little jump into it, it would have been my trademark elbow.
People at home, Pope is on fire. Looking as good as he ever has. People at home, you got to be loving this on the Fight Chat, #PrimetimeLive. And Pope, though, how much does he have left before the numbers game becomes a factor? Crossbody, this could do it, center of the ring. Zicky makes the save.
That would have been a big pin right there because Eric Watts probably does not have a lot left in that knee right now. So this might be a 2-on-1 match for the rest of this.
Ooh, but Watts back vertical, that's pretty impressive.
Watts showing some real fortitude, and it's big for him to show trust. You know, you talk about how his childhood friend attacked him, but it looks like he's already able to find, you know, sort of some trust in the Pope.
All four men in the ring here now. And you got Pope on one side getting the upper hand.
Oh, those body shots by Pope there, wow.
Television champion, though, had the upper hand, but tables are turned.
Come on, get down from there.
Oh, we'll see if the knee holds up here for Watts.
Get off the ropes, Pope, come on.
There's 3 shots, 4.
Some surround sound punches from Pope and Watts. We love to see it.
In unison, oh, they're dumping the big man out there. Zicky Dice dumped the big man out. That had to hurt the knee. Boy, Zicky Dice is crafty, isn't he, guys?
Back to this 2-on-1. I don't know if, I mean, we might have to count Eric Watts out of the rest of this matchup.
Uh-oh, friendly fire upstairs. Continuity out the window. Effie with a little bit of remorse here for what he did.
That's the downside to tag team 2-on-1s is sometimes they backfire and you end up hurting your
4 up from the Pope. He calls that 4 up because it's 4 upside the head.
Yes, sir. 4 upside the head, and I think Effie made him twitch earlier. There it is, Elijah Express into the station, into the pay window.
Here are your winners, the team of Watts and the Pope, Elijah Burke.
Wow, what a, no, come on. Pope returns to action, earns the victory, Elijah Express, and now that Elijah Express getting derailed. Oh, spits on him, give me a break.
Here comes Watts.
Just despicable. Watts trying his best, hobbling.
This isn't the last you've seen of me, Pope. Should be.
Boy, disgusting. What a poor loser. You know, a lot of people think Zicky Dice had a hand in starting this pandemic, the way he was licking that television title after he won it. Now spitting on the Pope after the Pope earns the win. Blatant disrespect. That's not one of the pillars that the National Wrestling Alliance was founded on.
Certainly not, and certainly not what you want. It's so unbecoming from the television champion to do something like that. You hate to see it.
Wait, take a look. There it is, the Elijah Express.
Music. Look, Pope's going to be very clear in what I'm about to say. And I'm going to talk directly to you, Zicky Dice. There's a code that we have in this business. When I come in here, I shake your hand. There's no mouth that is closed, because that's tradition, that's the respect that we have for one another in this business. Not because you're over, not because you're the champion, not because you're somebody at the bottom of the totem pole or up top. That's because you need me as much as I need you, so that we can make that money in 2020. But when you come out here and do what you just did, man, you didn't just spit on me. You didn't just insult me. You spat on tradition. And tradition is the same thing that you wear around that big, fat waist of yours. So Ziggy, know this, Daddy. Know this. I don't know when, I don't know where, but you got Pope pissed off, and I'm back on the radar. And I'm gonna come take from you what matters the most. Pope's coming back for tradition, Daddy. Pope's coming back for tradition. And I'm gonna take tradition when I get you in the ring for that television title. That's tradition, Daddy. That's tradition. Take that, put it in your blender, mix it up, and drink it all down, because you will know, like everybody else, that Pope is pimping.
What a battle that was. Lots of bad blood between Zicky Dice and Pope, but we're out of time today. Make sure to tune in next week as we see the United TV title again on the line. Also, we're going to see Heather Monroe against Elena Black, now known as Cora Jade, and also a blockbuster triple threat that can only happen in the epicenter of pro wrestling, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, presented by CarShield.